Welcome, Power Couples. Today is episode number 6. I am joined here with my co-host Chester. I am Tracy. And today we're going to be talking about the division in a vision. Or when the vision divides, or disruptions come across when building an empire. Yeah. And this is kind of more of a topic specifically for couples. And this is us just kind of sharing our experience when maybe there were moments that our visions weren't aligned, or how we came to get here in our vision, basically. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to do it a little differently today. I actually have, Chester came up with a list of great questions that are perfect for the discussion. So we're just going to kind of go down the line and ping pong off each other, just asking each other the same question. And if any of this resonates with you, hopefully you find it beneficial. Yeah. And then if there are questions that Chester and I have not asked each other or we've discussed, feel free to put in the comments below what you would like for us to discuss.
We're here for you.
Yes. This is a two-way street. We're purposed here to support and love on our community. So let's dive in.
All right. Let's go. What was your vision before us, and how did it evolve?
Ooh. My vision before us. Well, my vision before us was survival mode. I really didn't have much of a vision beyond just being the best mom I can be, supporting my kids in the best way, and gosh, that was really it. I literally was like on survival mode, making sure that needs were being met. But seeing beyond that, I think I found it almost impossible to do that.
Yeah.
How it has evolved, like a Pokemon. Now I actually have a vision for myself. Like I actually have a goal. I have
many goals.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just kind of tapped into this creative space of like wanting to do more, share more, give more. And I love it. Yeah. What about you?
What
was your vision before us?
Vision before us? I never really had. Everybody got goals. But to where I am now, like before us, I never really envisioned starting up a business. My vision before was to work hard and get paid that way, earn as much money as I can, working. But to what it is now, as an entrepreneur, having several businesses and just continuing to have more ideas in terms of growing our empire. Like there are so many things that I want to do,
right?
And like I mentioned to you, like how I said you have a lot of goals, like I'm in the same boat. Like there are so many things that we have on our, I don't know, what do we call that thing? I'm always
blueprint. We always refer to that big whiteboard.
Yeah. So on our blueprint is is pretty much everything that we want to accomplish, whether it's quarterly, every 3 months, or every month, or the whole year. Like there's just so much for us to accomplish. So that's pretty much how it evolved. But for you, just kind of going back to you, did you ever feel your vision was sacrificed for our relationship? Now that, we have our goals and our vision now.
For our relationship, I feel like no. I feel like so far I feel like we've done such a good job in supporting each other's vision in our relationship. But I mean, if we're talking in the past, like, yeah, I've had to sacrifice,
Mm,
put aside dreams and
mm,
a vision for myself for the time being.
yeah.
Like, I don't know, I've always been in this pattern of kind of putting myself in the back burner
Mm,
so that I can respond to the immediate needs of
yeah.
whatever needs to be done.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as our relationship, no, I don't feel like I've ever had to sacrifice this or that,
Yeah.
in order for us to keep moving forward and building our empire.
Mm-hmm.
Have you?
Me? I mean, I feel like we're both the same. Like before us, like yeah, there was. I wouldn't say it was really sacrifice because I said I never really had a vision of doing what I am doing now.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, there was really no sacrifice. And then for our relationship now, like I feel like there hasn't been any. I mean, kind of early in our relationship, but at the same time, it's like everything that we've been doing, it kind of aligns with our dreams or our goals. Our vision. It all aligns together.
Mm,
So I feel like there's really no sacrifice to us.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I feel like, I mean, I don't want to speak for you, but for as long as we've built this vision for our future, I feel like nothing's really gotten in the way of it. I know we're still in the early stages of it, but so far, I don't feel like either one of, well, I haven't felt the need to sacrifice anything for our vision.
So are you saying you don't feel any tension between what you've wanted so far and what we're building for Empire? Is that what you're
No, I
saying?
haven't.
Yeah.
But so for people who may be feeling that they're sacrificing
Yeah.
what
Talk
they
about that a little
want
bit.
for their relationship or what they're building as an empire,
Yeah.
like what would that tension feel like? What would
I mean, the tension that you would feel if one or the other was feel like they were sacrificing for the relationship. I mean, I guess like time I guess would be one thing, right? Because if you're having to obviously if my vision and your vision doesn't align, like my vision is to do this and your vision is like way out of left field, like we're not seeing
why
the same
my
thing.
vision gotta be way
I mean, technically, that's what it is.
okay.
That's what I'm just, I was gonna say this and that, but that was kind of like right there. So I had to put it out in left field. You know what I mean? For those people who watch baseball, you know what I'm saying? That analogy, I guess you want to say. But anyway, if both our visions are not aligned, or if we don't see the same things, like there is going to be that sacrifice, like, and I want to say time, right? Because if I'm doing this in terms of like what I'm trying to accomplish for my vision and I'm having to put this amount of time in it, and if you don't feel like I need to do that to get to where I need to be, then there's that sacrifice. To me, that's what I feel like it. What about you? Like
That tension, like if if a person feels like they're sacrificing their wants for the sake of their relationship or what the relationship's vision is,
yeah.
I would imagine it would feel there would be a discomfort in accomplishing the task. Like I feel like every task would feel like out of balance.
Like out of order. Kind
Yeah,
of.
like it would just be really hard and almost impossible to complete.
Yeah.
You start
You just have
procrastinating.
that friction between each
Yeah.
other. Yeah. It's like you're having to worry about, oh, what is she gonna think, or what is he gonna think if I'm doing
Yeah.
this? Yeah.
Maybe a fear of disappointing your partner.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I guess, yeah, that's what I would imagine it would be
Yeah.
if what I wanted didn't align with the vision of the partnership,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, maybe you get easily distracted with
Mhm.
something else.
Yeah.
You're not really moving forward. You're kind of just like trudging along,
Yeah.
just in it for the ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuck.
Um, okay, so if there was ever a time that you didn't feel aligned, I guess that we just talked about it, but like, how do you think it would show up? And I guess it really, just like we talked about, like, it feels like you're just wasting time.
Mhm.
Every task feels impossible to do. You procrastinate.
Yeah.
And eventually it just kind of loses steam. If
Mhm.
all parties aren't in agreement with the vision,
Yeah.
eventually you start losing interest, and then you kind of just move on to something else usually.
Yeah. I mean, it's also too. It's like if you say if we feel like we weren't aligned, how it show day by day.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, not having the support, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you don't, if you didn't support me, how would I feel? Like, I would feel like disappointed. You know, I would feel like I lost that support in you. So, I would feel sad. I'd be depressed. I
Sounds
mean,
lonely.
yeah. I mean, then that's really what it is. Because if we're both not aligned with that same vision, it's like you're kind of on your own.
Yeah.
Like, where do you go from there?
Yeah.
Like, there's days where, we're not, it goes back to kind of like energy. If one is not at, can't meet you at the 50-50, like one's at 90, one's at 10,
Mm.
kind of that way. Like,
And not to say that we're not going to have days like that,
mhm.
energy wise, but what we're talking about is it's a consistent, like, you're carrying the load for the
All the
two of
time.
us,
Yeah.
right? And it's like a every day, like, I don't
Mhm.
wanna, like,
Mhm.
you want to go 100%. You want to go to the gym every day at 3 o'clock, and I'm like, but do we have to? Can we have a rest day? And it becomes that pattern, like every day for weeks on end. Like,
Mhm.
there's definitely a problem,
Yeah.
right? Or if we start compromising, like, well, that's another thing I would think would happen is like we start compromising and falling off. Like,
Mhm.
well, why
Yeah.
don't you just go in the morning? I'll go like a different time.
Mm.
It's like, but will you? But will you? Do you ever feel like that? Do you ever feel like you've had to carry my shit?
Carry your
carry,
shit.
carry my weight?
I mean, no, not really. I mean, there's gonna be times where I need to give you that extra push, or you need to give me that extra push, right?
We do call each other
Yeah,
out.
and then
Yeah.
that's one thing that that we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like I said, that goes back to um, our vision being aligned with each other. Like, if we know exactly what our visions are, like, we know how to push each other in the right direction.
Hold each other accountable.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a different one. That's
Yeah.
a different topic.
But
But it's exactly it though.
but I don't think I've had to carry you in that way.
Mm,
Like, I feel like you do pretty good.
yeah. There are days we definitely like have a little less motivation than usual, but
Hmm.
um
The discipline kind of
yeah, I think I'd
kicks
be
in.
concerned if we never bounced back.
If what?
If we never bounced back.
Oh yeah.
Like if we started building a new habit of like not like I
Not
keep
being consistent.
I keep going back to going to the gym just because it's like it's such an easy thing to understand, like,
Hmm.
you know, if because normally we go every day.
Yeah.
I mean, intensity is different every day we go, but we still show up.
Yeah.
But if we started like slacking off and the new habit is going every other day,
Yeah.
Like that would be a conversation that needs to be had for sure.
Yeah.
Um, what are other like silent signs that you think visions are dividing, or that um,
I mean, in terms of our vision, like what are things that I see? Um, Obviously, like signs of like not speaking out,
mm,
not being be able to voice your opinion about about our vision,
mm-hmm.
and just pretty much going ghost mode, I call
Mm,
it. Just keeping it to yourself. I feel like you know in not just in our relationship, but in just couples out there, like they need to be able to speak out and just kind of tell exactly how they feel.
yeah. I think the biggest like silent sign, like signal,
Mm-hmm.
the biggest signal that would radiate to me more is when the partner is not invested.
Not in it
Not
100%.
in it.
Yeah.
Mm,
I mean, not
Like
even 100%, but just in it regardless.
like they're
Yeah.
I would imagine like if they are drifting off, like they just have no um like I said, investment toward the vision. I would imagine them just kind of being on autopilot,
Mm,
not
yeah.
engaging. They're just physically present.
Yeah.
And you and I have no, we've been going to the same gym for how long now, and we've witnessed couples going, and when they're like on the same vision, on the same path, like
Mm-hmm.
that's a way different frequency from a couple where
One has a
one is
different.
just supporting the other.
Yeah. One is just there, just
The energy is
because.
way different.
Yeah. And we can feel that energy.
You can feel it.
Yeah.
Or that, or like the partner's just there to keep an eye on. Helicopter partner.
Yeah, we see it a lot.
We see that so much, and we've seen it so often that it's so easy to spot it.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, oh, look at them. Like you can really tell they're in this together, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you can tell they are.
One is. No one is not.
One is just here, just to be here.
Yeah.
That would be my biggest tall tale sign. It's like, if you're talking about the vision and all the energy is coming from one side and the other is just silent.
Not giving their input.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even engaging in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess that's one of the silent signs is silence.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's in its own question right there.
No,
but I mean,
you're
yeah.
right. It's true though.
It's just
That would
really,
be like that would be the big. I mean, people argue and they have like big fights about something like that, which is necessary in some cases. But man, when it starts to go like radio silent, that's danger zone right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay,
All right.
moving on.
All right.
So
What do you think the biggest what do you think the hardest conversation we've had about our vision?
honestly,
If we had any. I'm just saying that because like just thinking about that
Ooh.
question, I'm like, have we really had any hard conversations about our vision?
we have.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
It's when we are getting into our heads.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I have both gone through this.
Okay.
Yeah, you see where this is going already.
Yeah, I get it.
We've both gone through this where we're having self-doubt.
Mm.
We feel like we're failing.
Dang,
And
okay,
every
just call me
aspect.
out.
And it's not just you. I've had it too. I told you I've had it too. Had these feelings of like, nothing's moving forward. Like, is this really what is meant for us?
Mm-hmm. Okay, keep going.
Yeah. that's the hardest discussion we've ever had about vision. Our vision. It's
Yeah.
like, man, is it really meant for us? Should we really keep pursuing this? Should we just abandon, jump ship?
Yeah.
But it's like putting each other in check,
Yeah.
you know?
Accountability again.
Yeah, holding each other accountable. And that's when I know, like, both of us are still invested, we're engaged, and we're committed. Is
Yeah.
because, like, the fact that it was hurting us so much tells me that it matters that much.
Yeah.
And it is that important.
Yeah. True.
If we were just like, forget this, like, no skin off my back, let's do something else.
Yeah.
Like, let's just,
Yeah.
yeah, let's just enjoy our Friday nights, go out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just make the most of our weekends.
Yeah.
But the fact that, like, no, our why is so strong, our vision is so strong that, like, having the discussion to entertain the thought of quitting,
Yeah.
that was not a fun discussion.
I agree with you. I mean, we've had hard conversations for sure. Just trying to, pick each other up and being able to talk through whatever we're going through. Like you said, self-doubt, being a failure, like, and you're right. You hit it on the spot. It's like if we never ever felt that way, it's like because we didn't care, and we're just gonna give up that easy. But it's definitely not how we are. I mean, we've I've talked you through it a lot. You've done it most recently, and it's like it sucks, but it does happen. So, yeah, I mean, thanks
So-
for bringing that up and calling me out
Publicly
on it.
sharing it with the world? Yeah,
Yeah,
you're welcome.
I mean,
Anytime.
I mean,
Well,
just to let you know, I mean, regardless where you are, like, I don't know, as power couples, like, building an empire, whatever it may be, like, these conversations do happen. If it doesn't, then I'm sorry to say, but you're definitely not on the right track, and I'm just gonna admit to that. It's like, and if you're not having hard conversations in terms of vision or building an empire or whatever you're doing, it's like you need to get there, and you need to be able to have those conversations, because if not, then you're gonna be stuck,
Yep.
and you don't want to be stuck.
Yeah.
You want to, Tracy and I always talk about being better for each other and continuing to grow and having those hard conversations. I know I'm getting a little off topic right now, but
No, keep going.
I feel like those hard conversations need to happen in order for you couples, power couples, to grow in your relationship and in your vision.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is exactly like, I mean, it's really funny you said that because that was the next question.
I know. How do we check in?
To stay aligned.
Stay aligned.
And it would be to have those hard conversations.
Yeah.
I mean, even when things are good, it's necessary to have those check-ins.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know. I always want to bring it up to where, how we plan things, and we, you've taught me how to do it hour by hour, and it's like that's kind of what it is, right?
Yeah.
And even when our blueprint, like, we have it quarterly and we have it on the whiteboard, and we check things off once we accomplish things.
Yeah.
And with that, it's like there's like so much satisfaction in being able to cross it off, either in your daily planner or on our blueprint, like knowing that you have accomplished that, like, and checking in and making sure that we're doing those things, like that's how we stay aligned.
Exactly.
And it's easy as that. So all right, go ahead.
What does... Oh my gosh. Where am I? What does a shared vision look like today? What does our shared vision look like today in our business, our relationship, and our faith?
What does it look like today? A shared vision? in business,
Yeah.
I mean, our shared vision in business, just to tackle that first, is, building our empire. So, like, looking out into what our empire is, and, it's pretty much our coaching business and how that's laid out. And, but is that what I'm.
You know what? This is a trick question. I think it was more like in the realm of how do you know when you're aligned in the vision? What does that look like day to day when it comes to business, marriage, and faith? And like what I'm thinking is like if you're able to touch if you're able to touch um each goal
Each task.
every day. So if you're able to touch a goal on your business, your marriage, your faith, if you're able to do something towards those goals in every aspect of your life every single day without fail,
Gotcha.
I feel like that's when you're running like a well-oiled machine. And that's when you're 100% in alignment with both parties, both partners are touching on every goal for every aspect of the life every single day without fail.
Okay. I mean, and also having those conversations with that, right?
Yeah.
Like in business, marriage, and faith. So, yeah. I mean, I totally agree with what you said.
Right?
Yeah. That. I mean.
And like obviously there's so many different parts of us in our life that like none of those things are things that you can just put off.
Yeah. It needs
Like you can't just put off your goals towards your business, marriage, or faith. Like
those things
they
need to
all
happen.
should be progressing forward every single day.
I mean, of course. If it doesn't, like I
Right?
said,
Then
you're gonna be stuck.
there must
like,
be something not aligned, right?
There's something holding you back.
Or there's something that's not.
There's a disconnection.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah.
That.
Yeah. I know.
That was a hard question, but dang, after talking about it, like, there it is.
I mean, if you put it in that perspective, what you just said, like, yeah, you pretty much got it.
There's not one area of your life that should be stagnant or
no.
just idling.
Yeah. What's that word we always use? Content. Yeah.
Contentment.
There's never, ever should be ever in your life, whether business, marriage, or faith, where you should be content. You should always want to be better. You should always want to grow.
Right. You should always want to aspire for more.
Yeah, definitely. Because I feel like if you're content, like you're never ever gonna try to do things to make yourself better or to do better. I mean, not just for yourself, but for your future or for your kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
I just
that's
had a revelation.
That I don't know. We use that word a lot, content, and I feel like
we hate that word.
Yeah, we definitely do. I mean, I don't hate things. I don't hate people, but
dang. Okay, I wasn't going there, but you went there.
I'm just saying, like
we strongly dislike this word.
Yeah, but that word content, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we never want it to be a part of our vocabulary. But no, I was just thinking.
All right, go ahead.
Like as you were talking about contentment, and it's amazing to me how so many people have comfort and freedom to be synonymous with each other, and it's so wrong.
Yeah.
Like people want to build a future where they're comfortable. But what they really are saying is they want a future of like having freedom to do whatever they want. If they're comfortable, that literally means they're sitting on the couch doing nothing with the rest of their life. And that's not what, you know what it made me realize, put that in our heads is those commercials
Yeah.
for preparing for retirement. I want to build for a comfortable life, once I retire. That you're literally saying you are okay with just sitting on the couch and doing nothing with the rest of
Yeah.
your life.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's kind of the image people have about retirement is because they want to be comfortable. No, comfort is what you want to have like in the last day of your life. As you're sitting in your deathbed, you want to be comfortable.
Yeah, you want to
That's
die
what.
comfortably.
Yeah, yeah. You want to die in humane way. Like, or if you're, not to go there, but I'm going there. Like, if you're putting down a pet, you want them to be comfortable
No, yeah. Yeah.
as they're
That's a good
leaving
way
this
to,
world.
yeah.
But
It's a good way to put it.
yeah, but what people want is freedom to be able to live life the way they want,
Yeah.
go where they please, without any limitations.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Comfort
There you
and
go.
freedom. Ugh.
That's what it looks like.
I'm pretty sure people have probably realized that before this, but
No.
I'm catching up, guys.
Yeah, I mean, people have, but it doesn't hurt to put it out there.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said.
People listening to this have been like, wow, they are so slow.
No, Tracy is not Chester.
Anyways, moving on. Okay, moving on. All right, next question I'm going to ask you, Chester, is how do we invite God into our vision planning?
That's a good one. That's a great question. I mean, not in terms of a great question, but, everything that we do, regardless of the situation, we definitely involve God in everything that we do.
In our planning? Mm-hmm.
In our, I mean, not just in our planning, but pretty much like, you just said vision.
Right.
But in anything that we do in our lives, like we still involve God.
Mm-hmm.
Like whether we do certain activities, whether we do certain activities or we want something in life in terms of our empire, like, even thinking about our ultimate goal or, our why, our purpose, like we always pray to God about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's a pretty easy one.
Yeah, it is.
Why, how we invite God, and it's pretty much, everything that we do, it just revolves around God. Like that's the first, every time we think about doing something, like, okay, is this gonna affect?
This is aligned with our
faith, pretty much.
Faith, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. And then we do it through prayer,
Absolutely.
So that's how.
And I also feel like that's part of how you know you're in alignment with your faith and your values is you don't lose that steam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You continue to have energy towards it. You continue to feel motivated by it.
Yeah.
Even when you're not motivated by it, your body still pushes forward towards it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's also like when you know.
Yeah.
But listing it out to the finest detail of your goals and putting that in your prayer, like that is huge.
That's a huge lift off your shoulders.
Huge.
Yeah.
Yes, like verbalizing all your specific goals and putting it into prayer is massive. Absolutely massive. And having that prayer every single day, even multiple times a day, like it's bulletproof.
Can't lose.
You can't lose.
And it's, pretty much putting all your trust in God and just letting God be God and,
Let go and let God.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to. Thank you.
Sorry, I wanted to say it.
No, yeah.
I had to beat you to it.
But yeah, kind of lost track after that.
Sorry, my bad.
No, you're good. But then, yeah, I mean, yeah.
How do you how do we protect each other's dreams?
I mean, spiritually.
Mm.
I mean, shoot, praying for each other.
Mm.
I mean, that's the best thing you could do. That's the only
Mm.
thing you could do, honestly. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say only thing.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's the number one thing that you should do
Mm.
is pretty much pray for each other, which we do.
Yeah.
And I feel like, when we do that, it's like you said, it's bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
And everything that we do when we pray, like, I feel like it gets answered.
Mm-hmm.
And we talk about putting all our trust in God and letting God do God.
Yep.
Like, I don't know, there's nothing else that I can think of.
Yeah.
To protect each other's
I think
dreams.
that's kind of the number one thing
Yeah.
we do for each other. The most important thing we can do for each other.
Yeah.
And then I guess the second thing would be just to continue to be each other's accountability partner.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Having those hard conversations, keeping each other in check.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, we talk about this all the time, but talking about routines, like what routines do we have in place that keep us aligned?
Mm-hmm.
And it really is constantly having the discussions of our why,
Mm-hmm.
our purpose. Ooh, we said that together.
Mm-hmm.
Happy and we're singing. Sorry. But yeah, routines that keep us aligned is what did we just say? I feel like I just got hit with amnesia.
Oh man. You said that we talk about it all the time about what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of our purpose.
Yeah.
We keep discussing.
We keep having the conversations.
Talk about our why.
Yeah.
We always talk about the big picture.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the routine that we have.
That is our routine.
Mm-hmm.
Always talking about it.
But spiritually, what I think it's asking is, what do we do? What routines do we do, or that help us?
And I think breaking it down.
I think it leads to setting devotional prayers.
Yeah.
And
consistently worshiping.
Consistently, yeah. Yep, worshiping and with that, I mean, that's pretty much that's all the routines.
Yeah. I mean, together, you and I gosh, I can't even talk anymore. You and I together, we pray every morning and every night before we go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Every morning when we are like about to leave to start our day, or part ways to start our day, and then every night before we go to sleep. But then Chester and I, just a little extra, Chester and I every day at 1:43 p.m. We also we don't pray together, but we have designated that time to stop whatever it is we're doing wherever we are to pray also. So that's our routine.
I'm just going straight into it.
I went into it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's our routines.
That's our routines.
And that's what definitely helps us to stay aligned.
Yeah.
And it's been working.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But going into our next and last couple questions.
These next 3 questions are for you, the audience, anybody who's listening. Like, this is just a moment we'd like to invite you to reflect on, and really have a hard conversation with yourself, or a real conversation with yourself. And the first question would be, do you think you and your partner are aligned or just attached?
Ooh. Are we talking about this too? Or are we just asking? I mean, yeah, okay. We keep it that way.
Yeah. I think we should leave it to the audience to decide.
Yeah.
And to discuss with themselves.
And then maybe
talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah. And then maybe the beginning of next episode we can kind of talk about it a little bit just to start off. I really like these questions.
Yeah.
So, all right. All right.
What's another question?
Another question is, what conversations are you avoiding,
Ooh.
and why?
Ooh.
Yeah, these are getting to the needy and greedy.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah, I had to bite my tongue because I wanted to dive into that one. But okay, so last question for our audience is, what would it look like to build a vision together that serves the calling of both you and your partner?
These are good ones.
I know.
See, this is why I said I was like, are we gonna talk about these? Because man, okay, yeah, okay, we won't.
Honestly, because I feel like these are conversations you and I have, like, just with each other.
I know, but
these are really good conversations that other people should be having with their partners, regardless if you guys are trying to build an empire
or not.
Yeah, but these are just like questions that should be the norm when building a relationship with someone.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and this is even talking about like when you're out there choosing a partner for life. Like, these are questions I wish I had known sooner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What would change?
What?
Nothing. All right.
Yeah. What would it look like to build a vision together that serves the calling of both you and your partner?
Yeah.
I had to say that one again because it was a good one.
Yeah. All right. So those are the 3 questions. You can either comment in the comment section for this episode, or you can send us a DM on our Instagram, the Empire Behind Closed Doors podcast. You can do it in many ways. But yeah, again, if this episode resonated with you or hit you in the face or hit you somewhere to realize that you're not having those tough conversations, or there's some disconnect, or you're not realignment with your significant other, I should say. Specific, yeah. Very specific, all right? But significant other, then you need to have those conversations. But anyway, before we head out, you have anything to say?
I think that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm at a good place where we can wrap it up.
All right. Well, y'all have a good day, good rest of your weekend.
Good day.
Thank you for spending the time with us,
and stay tuned till we drop our next episode next Saturday.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye.